The trouble started over a bird bath. Yes, you heard me right. A handmade, stone-carved, solar-lit bird bath I installed in my front yard to attract cardinals and robins for my grandkids to watch. It was a small act of peace until Karen decided it was the beginning of the end of our entire neighborhood. I live in Sycamore Ridge, a supposedly peaceful HOA-run community just outside Charleston. I moved here after retiring from 32 years in the Army. I'm not a troublemaker. I mow my lawn, pay my dues, and mind my business. But I also believe in one core principle. If you mess with me without reason, I'll make sure it's the last time you ever try it. Enter Judith Harmon, our HOA president for the past 9 years, and a woman whose soul seems powered by passive-aggressive rage and cucumber water. She walks the neighborhood every morning at 6 a.m. sharp, clipboard in hand like she's running a Suburban boot camp. That's how I knew I was in trouble. Because the moment she saw the bird bath, she stopped. Eyebrows raised, lips pursed like she'd just sucked a lemon through a straw. By noon, I had a violation notice taped to my front door. Unapproved front yard ornamentation. Classified as visual pollution under HOA. Rule 4.9. Visual pollution. I laughed out loud. My bird bath, which I spent a month carving with my own hands, was apparently offensive to Judith's sense of aesthetic supremacy. I politely emailed the board attaching photos, citing the HOA manual, which, by the way, never mentions bird baths, and asked for a review. No response. 3 days later, a second notice came, this time with a $100 fine attached. I decided to attend the next HOA meeting in person. Now here's where things started getting weird. The meeting was held in Judith's garage, of course, decorated like it was hosting the G7 summit. She had a podium, a projector, and a slideshow titled, Combating Neighborhood Decline, The Battle Against Eyesores. Slide 1, My House. Zoomed in, cropped, highlighted with red arrows pointing to the bird bath. This, she declared, is how property values plummet. You'd think I'd painted the walls neon orange. When I calmly pointed out that no bylaw prohibited bird baths, she pivoted. It's not the bird bath, she said. It's the statement, the tone, the message it sends. Ma'am, it's a stone bowl with a little solar fountain. But the board, clearly afraid of Judith or hypnotized by her gluten-free lemon bars, voted to uphold the fine. One member whispered an apology as I walked out. That's when I made the decision. If Karen wanted a war over a bird bath, I'd give her a press-covered, camera-ready, neighborhood-shaking showdown. First, I set up a wildlife camera, motion-sensitive, 4K. I figured if Judith was going to stalk my lawn like a jealous ex, I might as well get footage. Sure enough, within a week I caught her sneaking up at 5:12 a.m. with a tape measure, measuring the bird bath. The next night, she tried to remove the solar light. Big mistake. I compiled the footage, added in screenshots of the notices, the board minutes, even her slideshow, and sent it all to the local news under the subject line. Retired veteran fined $100 for a bird bath, HOA president calls it. Visual pollution. By Friday, we had a reporter parked across the street. By Saturday, Judith was not happy. I was on my porch with coffee when the news van arrived. Judith stormed down the block, hair in curlers, wearing her HOA sash like she was in a pageant for worst person alive. You blindsided me, she hissed, microphone in her face. The reporter smiled. We tried to contact you, ma'am. You responded with a cease and desist. They aired the piece on the 6 p.m. news. The angle? Community uproar. HOA declares bird bath a threat to home values. And then it went viral. By Sunday, we had reporters from 2 more stations and 1 YouTuber doing a live reaction video. My bird bath? Featured in memes across Facebook. One had the caption, Hide your gnomes! HOA Karen is coming. Judith held an emergency board meeting on Monday. She tried to have me removed from the community Facebook group. Didn't work. Then she posted a bizarre letter accusing me of running a coordinated media smear campaign funded by birdbath lobbyists. I'm not kidding. That's when I found out something else. Judith had been abusing HOA funds for years. Hidden inside her many petty agendas were shady charges, landscape consultation fees that went to her nephew, mailing budgets that covered her Peloton subscription. I passed everything to the same news team. Next week's headline, HOA president under fire for financial misconduct, sparked by birdbath battle. The city launched an audit. The board forced a vote of no confidence. Judith tried to block it by claiming executive HOA immunity, but by then her own allies had turned on her. One of them literally quoted the news clip in the vote. "Judith, you lost the moral high ground when you said a bird bath was a threat to democracy." She was removed. And me? I got a written apology, the fines waived, and permission to keep the bird bath plus install 2 benches and a tiny sign that reads, "In memory of HOA Karen's sanity, may she rest in HOA history." Sometimes peace comes in the form of stone and water. Sometimes it comes when the entire town watches your petty tyrant fall in 1080p.